Okay, and what did they say you were charged with?
To be honest, there is no charge. I was beaten up, assaulted, falsely arrested, and there was no charge. If you looked at the bail paper, at the spot that it said it was the offences, it said arrest order. And I don't know of an arrest order to be a charge. Their only intent was to come in and kidnap this child just so that she would never give any witness as to what she experienced, the murder of her unborn sibling and the sexual assault in law enforcement custody. So when they get the child, now you understand why there was absolutely no charges filed against me. There could be no charges filed against me. There was no accusation. There was no case filed in the court for delinquency. I was never accused. I was never being investigated by CPS. So that's the reason why this is directly kidnapping the child so that she would not be able to give any witness as to what she saw happen before her eyes in 2010.
Okay, and also, how long were you detained in law enforcement custody?
Almost, almost, it was 20 hours. This happened at 1:30 a.m. in the morning, in the dark morning hours, and I was never released until around 5 p.m.
Okay, what injuries did you sustain while in law enforcement custody?
Oh, I suffered a lot of injury. I was dragged out of my home. I was beaten. I was dragged over 20 feet. And while the deputies was dragging me, they were hitting me in the dark. And my husband was forced to watch what was happening. And all my children were forced to watch them beating me and dragging me. And I just need to also state this part that my husband was told when they come in, he was taken outside the home and held outside in the dark by the two Clayton County police officers, Latimore and White, and he was not able to see what was happening inside the home with me, his wife, and the children. And he explained to us after the incident that each time he attempts to move, Officer Whitmore, I'm sorry, Officer White and Latimore would draw their guns at him. So this man was terrified and terrorized in his own property and was not able to go to the aid of his wife for fear that they were going to kill him. How dare law enforcement would trespass in anybody's property without a warrant, beat a female, dragged her over 20 feet, and kidnapped a 7-year-old child of special needs at gunpoint. And I must also state that based on the injuries, when I got to the jail, I was unable to walk on my own. I ended up into a wheelchair, and I was temporarily confined to a wheelchair because of the incidents that happened.
You said that they didn't have a warrant?
No, they did not have a warrant. There was absolutely no warrant. There was no crime committed, as I wanted to clearly state. There was no investigation. This child was never being abused. She was never being neglected. There was no case in the court. Out of the blue, as I stated when I filed a complaint with Sheriff Hill, when I stated that the incident happened in the presence of my 4-year-old daughter, at the time was now 7, and this was the reason for actually kicking the door in and coming and kidnap this child at gunpoint, holding the older sibling and myself at gunpoint at 1:30 in the morning, and my children were told that they were not able to call anybody to come to their aid. At 1:30 in the morning, at gunpoint, they were ordered not to call anybody to help them. This is the United States, and we're talking about law enforcement officers. We're talking about sheriff officers, and we're talking about police officers that are kicking people's door down at 1:30 in the morning, going in law-abiding citizens' home, kidnapping minor children at gunpoint, and actually brutalizing decent citizens in Clayton County, Georgia. I want the world to know that that is what's going on right now in Clayton County, Georgia. If they don't like what you know, if they do not like what you say, they'll just come to your home without a warrant, in the dark, kick your door in, murder your family member, rape, sexual assault, and do whatever. And then there's no investigation because they covered it up. And this is the United States of America. It's sad to know that that's the society that we live in today. And somebody must do something about it. I want the world to have that.